we should just have started recording already and just start the show now.
Right. Good idea, Jeff.
Oh, did we already? Were you recording all along?
I've been recording the whole time.
Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so welcome to Squares of the Roundtable podcast. I'm Jeff Stein. With me is Mike Boyle.
Yo.
God, I hate Ivan. He did this to me. I came 2 seconds from saying Mike Edwin. So annoying.
I never get that wrong.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Because it's my name.
Because it's your name.
That's right. My name is what? My name is what? Mike Edwin. No, Mike Edwin. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you all had a good 4th of July weekend or whatever. Good day, good afternoon, good morning to you. Whatever time of day you were listening, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Ivan is not here. We suspect he's okay, but he does live near the Humboldt Park Lagoon. So,
oh no!
So we are a little bit nervous.
It's the summertime, time to go for a swim, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
No, Ivan, no!
Maybe that's the reason why Alligator Bob got fired, is Ivan. I'm telling you, this thing has been hysterical. At first my reaction is there's an alligator in the lagoon. And this is like the story all over, like, the city of Chicago. It's like, is the alligator still there? I mean, that's all everybody talks about. And did you catch the nickname they gave him? Chance the Snapper.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm telling you, we should make a cartoon with Alligator Bob and Chance the Snapper. I mean, it just sounds like a Looney Tunes.
I saw a video of a Mexican song that was a dedication to the Humboldt Park alligator.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was very good.
Okay. He's got a Twitter.
He has a Twitter following, has a Facebook page. He's got all the
social
media.
He's got all this stuff.
Yes.
You know, honestly, if I was like one of the local casinos, I would like buy him and then like build a habitat for him to like hang out in locally, and like because people would come see him. You know, I think. I don't know, maybe not. Who knows? But he's gotten enough publicity at this point. Like he's like, you know, you get the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ivan lives nearby there. So hopefully he's okay. I want to actually really. Ivan's off doing one of his gigs. Where is that at again?
Humboldt Park.
Humboldt Park.
Oh no,
no!
Kohl's. He's at Kohl's.
He's
next
at
to
Kohl's?
Target.
I know, really. I mean, it's like I feel bad because it's like when he says Kohl's, that's my first reaction too. It's like, can you get me a pair of underwear and some sporting goods?
You can only buy stuff on sale at Kohl's. Their markup is way too high. You got to find it on sale at Kohl's.
Yeah. No,
where they got this cycle now with my sisters and my mother. It's called Kohl's Cash.
Oh, I'm aware.
It's a perpetual cycle. I got to go back and spend my Kohl's bucks.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, that's how they get you, man. Just like how this gator's going to get you.
I don't know about that. I heard they brought in like a real professional now from Florida.
Yes, they brought a Florida man to Chicago.
Brought the Florida man to Chicago.
Just what we need.
Yeah.
If you were a listener to this program, you know the Florida man does not bode well for anybody.
I heard they closed down the park now too. Finally, like I guess Mayor Lightfoot is like putting her foot down. So I don't know.
I suppose you can metaphorically say that. Yes.
Yeah. It's a little light though.
So I'm told.
Yeah. Bad. So bad. Yeah. Like I said. Yeah. That's like. I feel like all anybody wants to talk about is what's going on with the gator. At least locally.
Yeah. This is quite the phenomena here in Chicago. Almost makes me forget Pritzker's gas tax. Almost.
Hey, we could. Hey, there's an idea. We should be taxing the alligator.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Hey, if they fix the roads and they finally do all the right stuff I'm not against it. It's the problem when they don't fix the roads. and all the stuff that they claim they're supposed to do, that's when the problem begins. But we're not supposed to be talking about politics on this show.
Nah, let's keep that. We like our nerd shit.
Yeah. Plus the fact I like his hotels.
Yeah.
I like his hotels. I like Hyatt. Hyatt's good. Hyatts are nice. I don't want bad service at Hyatt. Gets me pissed off the governor. Yeah. But so you didn't get out much this week. It was hot. Yeah, we finally got some nice weather, right?
That's summery weather. Yes, it's, and we had some real nice weather. It's starting to get a little warm now, but hey, a month and a half ago it was 50 degrees and rain. So it's summer. Take it or leave it.
I take it. I take this. I will take this over. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, Hunter. I'm with you. So yeah.
But no, I didn't get out much this week. Cut the grass, even though it didn't need it. Could have gone a few more days, but I want to relish in my last day off later this week until I gotta put my nose to the grindstone before my vacation starts. So.
Yeah.
I had a good week though. I still got a couple of books. Because I told you I got Kingdom Come. From I haven't read it yet, and I also have Arkham Asylum anniversary print of the trade paperback, and I haven't read that yet. I've got that on the back burner. And I also have this Neil Ross not a documentary, but a biography I want to read from him. So I got some reading material. I just need to. I can't do it while I'm driving, though. I'm driving on vacation. So
that's where the audiobook comes in.
Yeah, I did that with a couple of books. Yeah. I like to read, though. Reading helps me sleep, actually. Okay. Which is kind of like, not that I need, and I'm a pretty good sleeper. I have a good, solid sleep cycle. There's some nights where it helps because I know I need to get up early the next morning, and I'm kind of a night owl. So I'll just grab a book. And it's a word book, not a comic or graphic novel or anything.
Or anything with the pages sticky.
No. They still have those in print. Yeah. Oh, wait, we didn't talk about Mad last week.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is funny because it's like, it's somebody made this statement. It's like, okay, so what was the last time you bought a Mad magazine? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point.
About 2 years ago when Weird Al did the cover. He did a few sides. He did some writing for one issue of Mad a couple of years ago. I bought it just on a whim. But no, I have it right. I mean, when I was a teenager, it was present, and a couple times I'd pick it up if I had some spare bucks to throw around, like at the 7-Eleven or whatever. And we'll get to 7-Eleven. The story. Well, that's the News of the Squared story.
Yeah, that's the News of the Squared story. I saw that one. I thought that was cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Cracked, and I was more privy to Cracked magazine than Mad.
I'm really kind of... It's funny, I still think I wonder if, in some ways, if they didn't miss out in the fact that, they had the Mad TV show for a while. And then that seemed to die out. And
that had a good run, though.
It had a good run. I just wonder... Now, in fairness, I'm going to say this, that I don't know. I could probably... one of us should probably go look it up before I even say it, but I am going to say it anyway. Which is, I'm surprised that they don't do, like, little skits and stuff that go viral and stuff like that, or have stuff like that are out there that's more social media friendly, if you know what I mean. Just to change up how they use the brand.
Yeah, I know, like Jimmy Kimmel sometimes puts some of his stuff up on YouTube. Like when they have like the musicians play with the kid instruments, do like their songs,
Oh, that's not Jimmy Kimmel. That's Jimmy Fallon.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Fallon.
You're the same thing, It's like where they have like the little snippets, or whatever, from the shows.
Well, or like there's like Funny or Die.
Colbert does it too.
Well, no, they got like you got Funny or Die, or you got College Humor, or
right?
That stuff.
Jeez.
Where it's like funny stuff, and it's like I would think that should be like up Mad's alley, or that should have been their next evolution, is to just be creators of that kind of content and whatnot. But
it's just printed media. It's a dying art.
Yeah. Again, it's interesting to me because it's interesting on a lot of levels because DC as a whole and Mad falls under that, technically into that category, but their whole, that whole section of what they're up to has changed quite a bit because they went for that black label concept and dropped out Vertigo, and I'm still not sure if that's smart. And the reason I say that is you've got, like, for example, if I want to do an adult version of a Batman story, when I say that, I'm talking about something with a little bit more violence, something that's a little bit more adult themed. I'm not versus the one. What was the one where it was like, okay, we're going to see the bat penis?
Was that? I forget what that was like. I want to say Black Label or something like that.
It wasn't a Black Label, but it was. I don't.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah,
I mean,
more adult.
I just think that you're asking for trouble if you start using some of your superheroes to do more adult stories, because now it's not under the Vertigo brand, it's under the DC brand. And you know how some of these networks get right away about when you're doing something crazy with characters that everybody loves. People start freaking out. So, or at least the mainstream does. So I don't know. I don't know if it's smart. We'll see. It'll be something that when it comes down the road, but yeah, I am kind of surprised. I just kind of am that they never really found a way to take Mad to the next level, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just the digital age of everything.
Like I said, I would just think in a digital world, Mad makes total sense. It should be in a bigger digital brand and maybe that's part of the problem is it was so busy trying to be print that it wasn't really looking at it from a digital perspective. And that's too bad. But, yeah.
Well, but what else? I had,
how was the hardware store?
It's hot. It's the warm weather. It's bringing in people who want to get out of the heat. People fixing their boats, fixing their pools. It's a good time. I mean, like I said, a month and a half ago, we had not very good weather, and now it's summer-like weather, and people are going on their boats, and they're going in the pools, and they need stainless steel bolts because that's what boats and pools are made of, so they don't rust.
Come on. It's much more fun when they rust in the middle of a lake and watch people get stuck.
No, that's when the boats sink.
Cool.
No, sinking boats are bad.
Well, depends on your point of view. If you're not on the boat,
Leonardo DiCaprio's on the boat. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But
really.
Actually, I am going to go. I do want to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That does look good. That's coming end of the month.
I was going to say that's not out yet, is it? Okay.
No, it's in 2 weeks.
I still haven't gotten around to seeing Toy Story 4. I think that's on my.
And I do want to go see Spider-Man a second time. I'm not sure when I will, though.
It's funny. I've been meaning to see Avengers for a second time, and I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm tapped out. I'm 3 times in. I'm like, okay, I don't need it. But they're only 8 million shy of beaten Avatar.
Yeah. I mean, I only saw it once. I'm just not feeling. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the need to go back and watch it again. Maybe if I could get past the first 90 minutes.
I'll wait for the digital release.
Yeah, maybe that's the real answer. What else? I've been binging the show Killing Eve from BBC America with Sandra Oh. Wow. I'm finishing up. It's about, the seasons are short. There's only 8 episodes a season. So I'm on the last one for season 2. It's about, an MI6 investigator who is investigating a female female assassin and killer, and it's kind of interesting. It's it's interesting. It's well done. I will tell you, the first episode, I was a little like, I'm bored. And it took me a little bit of time to get into it, but by episode 2 or 3, it was pretty good.
What service is it on?
It's funny. I got it through AMC because I guess they ran a marathon or something, and they were re-airing. But BBC America is who had it. So
do they have a streaming service, or you just?
No, I was just picking up off cable.
Okay.
I was picking this.
I see.
Off regular cable.
On demand. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually taped TV. It's one of those where it's like, I've DVR'd all.
Oh, you DVR'd the whole marathon.
Yeah. Okay. I DVR'd the marathon, and then there was 8 weeks of the show, and I never got around to watching them. So I was like, oh, well, I'll watch this now that I don't have anything else going on. And I'll check it out that way. But I thought it was good. Sandra Oh was really great. Both of them are really good in it. I guess Sandra Oh won a Golden Globe for it, or she was nominated for a Golden Globe for it, and I see why. It's a good piece. Definitely a high recommend. Should definitely check it out. I feel like we're in a real lull. It's like there's not a lot going on, and I know why too, because it's like next week's. Is it this? No, it's the end of this week, isn't it? The end of this week is Comic-Con, isn't it?
This week is San Diego Comic-Con.
Is it San Diego?
Yes.
Lego Maego?
50th anniversary.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah, there
was. I gotta tell you, Mike, that is not a show. I don't know if I'd ever want to go. Would you?
Not now. No, it's too big.
It's insane.
It's claustrophobic.
It's not even that. It's just like, I hear stories about what it costs to get a hotel room nearby. In the city, it's insane.
Doesn't San Diego sell out? I mean, you can't just walk into that place.
No, you can't just walk in.
It sells out.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the point now where there are people who, if you're there and you don't have a ticket, you're there to hang out for the week at other places. Because there's stuff that isn't San Diego that kind of happens there too.
Oh yeah, there's all kind of stuff. The whole city is lit with events and stuff.
Right. I mean, they get 100,000 a day at the convention center, technically for the convention, but that's not counting people who are just there to come hang out to the party, and not go to the not actually go to the convention. So
right. There's other events and concerts and stuff.
Right. There's other stuff that goes on. So yeah, it does get crazy, but I've heard some of the prices for. I mean,
Well, they got you out there, man.
Well, and it's funny because they tell, like, I have friends of mine who are telling me, like, to stay at a Super 8 that's 2 hour, like an hour plus away, is even pricey, or like sometimes they're like places that far out, like 1 or 2 hours out, that it's like good luck finding a place to stay, or finding something at a decent price. It's like, it's nuts.
Yeah. And you wonder why the people of Woodstock didn't want the 50th anniversary of Woodstock in their town again. And I don't blame them. To have these hundreds of thousands of people descend upon the city and cause a ruckus. I'm sure the people of San Diego are used to it now, because the last 10 years, San Diego has been like A-listers and fans galore.
Yeah, they make a boatload of money that week too.
Well, people find a way to make a living. Yeah, some people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even that. I mean, hotels, restaurants,
people who rent rooms out,
Uber, right? All of that's a huge week for them.
Yeah.
Those people make a, if you're in the hospitality or you're in the food and restaurant industry and you're in San Diego, yeah, this is a week
deal.
This is a week you got on the calendar. Do we make sure we have enough food? Do we have everything we need?
Right.
Did we pay all the bills? It's that kind of week. This is a good week if you're an Uber driver, or a Lyft driver or something like that. This is
you make some money.
Yeah, you should. You should.
But I have no desire to go. No.
Yeah,
I don't even do the Chicago Comic-Con or Wizard World.
Did you see Jason Momoa is coming to Wizard World?
Yes, I saw that post.
I'm sure. Now it's like there's a part of me where I'm like, even if I was thinking about going, it's like, well, then again, if I wanted to like meet women, that might be a possibility.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be looking at us.
They'd all be looking for somebody who looks like Jason Momoa. Yeah,
my man. Hope somebody gets him a shirt.
You know that he ain't gonna be wearing no shirt. Like
the shirts will get torn off of him.
Well, they could probably auction off the shirt for charity that day, and they could make like $10,000. I bet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I bet they could.
There are lots of ladies who want that shirt.
Yeah, no, and the other thing about San Diego that's crazy is San Diego's like all over the city. Because, like, I had a buddy of mine, the one person I've talked about, John Schnieder, who's a friend of mine who does the Word Balloon podcast, and he's done panels before where, like, he's done panels, and the panels he's doing is at, like, the library, and that's like a walk. I mean, we're not saying it's close by, if you understand what I mean, But
it's close enough, right?
Nah.
Walking distance.
Is it? I don't know. I don't. That's not the impression I get from when I hear him talk about it. But like it could be a mile away or something like that. But I mean, they just take over the whole city, and like stuff is in the hotels, and and nothing's like. And some of the stuff isn't close by. I mean, it's just. I don't know. It's funny because Gen Con's having the same problem.
Right.
Gen Con's doing. I shouldn't say that. Gen Con has. One of the things I've noticed about Gen Con is, and I can talk a little bit about this because I'm a little more aware than most people. Gen Con, I wonder sometimes about the amount of room that they have in the convention center, and the reason I wonder about it is because they started getting into the habit of selling sections of the convention center to game companies for their games, where they would have exclusive ability to have rights to that room the whole time. And when you start doing stuff like that, it means that you have less room for the other games that aren't from those companies, and so as a result, you got to start moving people. Like for example, my understanding is that they had games at Lucas Oil, and I'll tell you right now, Lucas Oil is, as somebody who lived in Indianapolis, I'm telling you right now, not close. Not that close to the convention center.
But it's still a big building that accommodates a lot of people.
Right. But my point is if you're staying over by where the convention center is, and in fairness, in Indianapolis, they do have a lot of hotels that are right by the convention center. But if you're staying in the convention center and your event's at Lucas Oil, it's a good walk.
Well, that's when you hire a company to run shuttle buses.
Well, yeah, but you're funny. Well, I mean, and I shouldn't say that. Back in the day when TSR owned
Dungeons and Dragons,
owned Gen
and Magic, yeah.
Well,
before Hasbro
bought
it.
Hasbro brought all that out. But when TSR first owned Gen Con by itself,
that's right. Okay, yeah. I remember.
They used to have shuttle bus service. They used to have that, where they would have shuttle buses if you were out by the airport and all that stuff, and had all that stuff going.
Yeah, we always stayed by the airport, and we just commuted to downtown Milwaukee.
Right. And I know that at one point they had shuttles that they would do that stuff, but over time when Hasbro bought them out, I think they found that stuff where they really didn't feel it was necessary. And I think what's crazy to me is the amount of people who, for them, we talk about this stuff the way we're talking about it, and there's a lot of people out there that just don't care. They just want to go do it. They want to go hang out and do their thing. And they're gonna go whether they have tickets or not, and if they're part of the gigantic group, that's cool. I mean, at least with Gen Con I understand, which is, okay, you show up, you play a game, okay? It's versus San Diego, where it's like, okay, I'm here and I stand in another damn line. to see anything really, really good. I mean, there are people who will spend an entire weekend in a line just to
watch one panel.
To watch one panel.
Yep.
And it's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just nuts. Then again, part of it is, I will say this, now it's different. If I was an artist or if I was somebody who had work to do, sure, absolutely, go to San Diego. You're going to make a boatload of money. I absolutely can't blame you for it. I know a few people who are going. I know Art and Franco will be there this weekend, as they should be.
Yeah, I don't know any personally who's going, but I just know of some people that I've met in passing, but I don't know them personally.
But I know, for example, with their crew, their Aw Yeah crew, I know a bunch of them will all bunk in together because that's how expensive freaking hotel rooms are. And I mean, and we're talking about, you get the idea. I mean, I'm just, what is a guy like? I don't know. Can a guy like Mark Waid afford a hotel room, or you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. I guess you could expense it out. If you're DC and Marvel, you can afford those rooms. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but now the days of going to the huge conventions, I don't know. I may be done with them.
I probably will do Gen Con again at some point. I just need to figure out how to make it work on my terms. And that's going to be the big.
Yeah, you told the story about how the one time your room was comped and all that, and you had
that was the last time I went.
Big party, and yeah, it says nothing. You said nothing can top that. So
yeah, I mean, but I'd still like to go. There's still a bunch of people I haven't seen in a long time.
Right.
And I do like Indianapolis. I can't imagine that'll ever get topped again. And in fairness, if I was going to do it now, see, the biggest headache to me is with Gen Con is there are rooms that you can get at a decent rate outside of downtown, okay? And that's not a problem. The headache is, all right, I have to get in there in the morning. And if you're bringing your car, you better get there at the crack of dawn because everybody else is coming at the crack of dawn. And otherwise, you're never going to find parking.
Right. It's like I had the situation earlier in the year where I was going to go to Celebration, and I bought my parking ticket in advance, so at least I had a spot secured. Yeah. But then I would have had to still take a bus down the street 4 or 5 blocks to get to the what's the name of it? McCormick Place.
Right.
And I didn't go. Well, obviously, ultimately, I didn't go because I had a wake to go to that night, and then we got 6 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Celebration would have been fun to go, and I know people who had gone that had an awesome time, and I know, and Star Wars is, it's like Star Wars, like anything else. Yeah. It's wonderful, but still, my days of going to the huge ass conventions, I don't know. I mean, with BotCon being done and HasCon seems like it's being shelved, and if they do come back, it'll go on the far east coast, and I don't want to have to go that far. So, anything in my interest, I'll do the smaller local shows, but I don't see myself driving long distances or flying to go to conventions anymore. They're just getting old, I guess.
Well,
that sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It is funny you say that because I think in some ways that's been the one blessing in disguise is, Gen Con has always been incredibly local for us. Which even now, even though it's Indianapolis and it's further than it was back in the day when it was in Milwaukee, it still doesn't mean you got to buy a plane ticket to get there. All you got to do is hop in your car and drive down. And that's a huge advantage versus, okay, I got to go out to San Diego. Well, okay, now I got to buy a plane ticket. Jeez. You get the idea. Yeah,
and then once you get there, it's a matter of transportation.
Yeah.
And not having your own vehicle is kind of a pain in the backside because you've got to get from place to place and you don't want to eat the same convention food every night. You want to have a nice meal and be sure you can get to places that are, decent food-wise.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is, again, I guess this kind of depends on the convention you're going to, too.
And the venue,
Like at comic conventions, I was more willing to be like, okay, let's just go grab something to eat, let's hang out, with the people who I did know, which were very few, and that kind of thing. And if I missed things, I was okay with it. Because it's like, I'm not standing in an insane line to sit here.
Yeah, and you're just chumming with your pals,
versus gaming conventions, where it's like, okay, I paid for a gaming convention. I'm still of that mindset where it's like, I will go from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m., okay? And that's just not the mentality of some people anymore, which is like, oh yeah, we're going to go out to eat, and we're going to go look around and see the sights. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're here. Go. What are you talking about? Go play some games.
Well, I know there's some people that make it, their vacation, their family vacation. They'll get there a couple days early so they can see the sights.
Yeah, but they're talking about like that during the actual
during the show. No,
yeah,
dude.
No, they're talking about during the show. Like, I've had people where I've sit there and they've sat there and said, make sure you take an entire slot to a couple of slots to go to the vendors or the dealer's hall. And I'm like, I get it. If you've never been and you've never seen it, I totally understand why you should go do that. And I know that there's tons of demos in there. There are people who never leave that room. But to me, I'm always like, no, I don't need to go into that room. Maybe because I hate to say it. If I'm buying something, that means I'm going to get stuck running it. So.
Right, because it's your game. Open it up. Read the rules.
Yeah. Especially role-playing games. Role-playing games are totally like that. It's like, cool, I got this cool role-playing game. Great. You're going to run it? No, I wanted to play it. I didn't want to run it. That's the only good part about Gen Con. I hate to say it is. It's like, okay, you at least at Gen Con, it's like, you don't get the same freaking games over and over again that you get the same at small cons. Like, you get Pathfinder and D&D and a couple of things here or there. Otherwise, it's like, that's it. Done. Gen Con, they got all kinds of stuff. And it's like, okay, that's the reason you go, is if you're tired of playing D&D.
You want to try new stuff.
Right, you want to try new stuff that you don't normally get a chance to play any place but there.
Well, some people do that. They'll peruse the dealer room, and they'll see what catches their eye.
Well, and they've got so many offerings on the listings, it's like, where I'm like, at this point it's funny, because I used to go hang out with certain people from gaming groups, and I'm like, if I went again, I would minimize my playing with some of that and totally look at stuff where it was like, oh, that looks interesting, and I've never played that before.
Right.
But, what did I play? Oh, I played I did do, like, the game club actually had a picnic, and we played, I can't remember what version it is. It was some sort of pandemic version.
Right, okay. One of the plays on those. You get different versions of that now.
Yeah, I think it's something like The Cure or something like that.
Robert Smith was there?
No, not Robert Smith. And I'm not going to Rochambeau you for it either.
Disintegration's the best album ever.
And there's no Becca Streisand either. God.
But I hear you. Yeah, it's just some version of that kind of game. It's like Munchkin, where it's just different pictures on different cards, but it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, Munchkin. What don't they have for Munchkin?
Exactly.
I don't know. I got tired of that game after a while. Like I said, I got tired of the competitive games, the cooperative games.
It's like with anything. It's like you hear that, like, you can have your favorite album, but if you hear your favorite album too many times, it won't be your favorite album anymore.
I guess. I don't have that problem with role-playing games, though. Role-playing games, I never have that problem.
At least the ones you play.
Right. Well, maybe that's because...
Well, you said role-playing. Well, role-playing can be different every single time because of the way it's written.
Right.
But with board games and dice games and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, there's still dice involved. And,
there's still many permutations,
Yeah, unfortunately with role-playing, there's still dice involved. Ask me how that's a problem. Here, I'm going to do this cool thing. No, I'm not. Critical fumble. Great. Wonderful. Not even close.
Have you thrown away dice that have constantly rolled bad?
People do that. I know people who've
bad luck. I'm always roll bad. These dice roll bad on me.
And I'm one of the worst rollers of all time. I swear. Everybody laughs. It's like, I swear. Somebody go, whatever you do, don't roll this. I'm like, did you have to say it out loud? Yeah. Did you? Because now I'm going to roll it.
Yeah. But yeah, so San Diego's this week. What are you hoping to see at San Diego?
Well, I mean, in terms of what I'm going to be able to hear or listen from here.
Right. Because we won't be there, obviously. Sad face.
I think, obviously the Russos are there. I'm curious what they're going to talk about. I don't necessarily know that it's going to be all Endgame. I know they've got other projects coming up.
Yeah, but they said, aren't they? Well, they said they're done with the MCU, right?
Or at least supposedly.
Yeah.
At least supposedly they are. I know that they've got that one. They've got that one movie coming up with Chadwick Boseman and Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah, the 21 Bridges. Yeah.
Yeah, the 21 Bridges thing. So I'm sure that'll get mentioned, or talked about. I guess they'll try to roll out what else they're thinking about. I know MCU is there. The question is, what will they tell us or what will they show us? And
maybe a teaser for Black Widow, maybe.
Yeah, and the question is, will we see it or will only the people in San Diego see it? Or will we just hear about it?
Well, there will be leaked images, don't worry.
Yeah, but it's a pain in the... Have you ever tried watching some of those leaked images?
Some of those shaky cams?
Yeah, with the shaky cams and all that stuff. It's
Cloverfield
so
cams of trailers that would be like, don't video this.
Yeah, like with all the Avengers stuff where it's like... And then you have a whole bunch of people screaming and you're like, damn it, I can't figure out what the hell's going on now.
2 years ago when that leaked footage from Infinity War leaked.
Yeah. Like I said, and then it's like, I can't see a thing. What the hell? I don't even know what happened. How could anybody make anything out of this?
Some people they soak it up, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But I think the most intriguing thing to me is the DC TV panel, the Arrowverse stuff. Because supposedly they're going to talk a little bit about this Crisis on Infinite Earths thing that they're going to do upcoming for the season.
Yeah, they're building to that, yeah.
That while they've talked a little bit about it, that there's going to be 3 episodes in December, and it's going to cliffhanger into January for 2 episodes. So I'm a little curious to see what this is all going to look like, and some of these shows are going to build to it from the get-go, so... I really do kind of hope that they make some big switches and big changes and do some things that shake some things up for all these shows, because some of them need to be shook up a little bit more. Obviously Arrow's going to go bye-bye, but...
And there's rumors of Supergirl ending because they're going to make a Supergirl movie, right?
Oh, is there? I didn't even heard about that.
There's just, obviously, there's 50,000 things in the works at DC right now, so...
Yeah.
It's all it takes is one, a CBN headline saying, this actor wants to play that.
Yeah.
But last I heard, they were going to put a Supergirl movie up on the screen.
Yeah, I've heard talk about that. I don't think that means that's what's her name. I think
Melissa Benoit or whatever.
Yeah, Benoist or whatever the heck it is. Yeah. Oh, I like a lot. And you know what? It's kind of funny because it's like they won't consider her probably for that at all, and yet they should.
From what I've watched, she seems to do a good job.
Yeah, just like they won't consider Grant Gustafson to play the Flash on the big screen. It's like, why? Just like, I don't know, I heard Tom Welling claim that he'd come back. He'd come back if he could play Arrow vs. Batman.
This is why they made. Well, we've talked until we're blue in the faces about what DC needs to do to fix their movie stuff.
Yeah.
But, oh well, but at least their TV, their TV panel should be interesting, and of course maybe we'll get some more than some teasers from the Batwoman show.
Yeah, I think they're actually. I think they might be premiering it there. I think they might actually have a premiere that people will be able to watch that show. My favorite was, I don't know if you were aware or heard about this. The original first premiere episode of Supergirl at one point leaked onto YouTube by accident, and you could watch the entire episode for and this was months before it was supposed to come out. And it was funny because I know they were mad at it, but in the end it was good because it was a good enough episode that there were people going, "Oh, this is pretty good." Right, so it got legs, just like how the Deadpool thing kind of got quote unquote leaked. That'll be an interesting question too. Is okay? They've said that while all of this X-Men stuff is dead, Deadpool is not. So what does that mean? Is it going to be Deadpool? Is going to be its own animal, or is Deadpool going to be MCU? I don't know what's going on for comics in terms of stuff, but I'm sure they've got stuff that's interesting. But yeah, I'll be interested to see some of what's coming out of there. Who I really want to know, Mike? I want to know how the hell Zack Snyder gets in every freaking headline. I want to know who his publicist
Clickbait.
is. I swear to God, it's who? I don't understand. The only thing I can come up with is he's got enough of a hate rating that people will look at the stuff anyway. I guess he's doing something at Netflix now.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I know, exactly. That's kind of my reaction, too. I'm like, Jesus, I don't care. I really don't care. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, other than that, I'm trying to think of what else has happened in San Diego. I don't have a...
I'm hoping that Paramount will show us maybe a little bit of the Picard series.
Maybe. Are they there?
They're filming it. I don't know if they're going to... Paramount should be there. Or CBS, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if they've got a panel room or not. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the schedule yet.
Here, hold on. I'm pulling something up now. Panels and things to look forward to. God, it's really sad. Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, Marvel, obviously we talked about Marvel.
Is Todd McFarlane going to be there to talk about his Spawn movie?
I heard that's not going very well right at the moment.
Probably not.
It's too bad. It's too bad. I would like to see him get that off the ground a little bit. Something called Witcher from Netflix is gonna be there. What else we got? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Oh, It Chapter 2 apparently is going to have some stuff.
Yeah, that's coming in September, I think. Isn't it? October?
Let's see. Funko, I guess, is going to have some limited quantity stuff.
Of course they do. I don't know. I don't get it. The Funko Pop shit. I don't get it.
The Funko Pop stuff?
Yeah, I don't get it. It's crazy. Those Funko collectors. Yeah, I don't get it.
I may have one. I think I have an Ant-Man that I still have in a box somewhere. Here, where to eat and where to drink. Wait, here, hold on. Okay. Apparently, Entertainment Tonight is going to have panels. Hold on, let's see. Is there a Rick and Morty panel?
Is there another season coming? I guess. All right.
I don't know.
I can't watch Rick and Morty. I don't get it.
I've not seen any episodes of Rick and Morty, and I'm sure that puts me. One of these days, I should check it out.
Yeah, I couldn't finish one episode. I couldn't. Oh,
apparently, there's a Terminator panel.
Oh, for Dark Fate. I finally memorized what this movie is that's coming. I'm like, okay, Dark Fate. That's all right. I'm still waiting on that 1/12 scale endoskeleton, man.
There is a Rick and Morty panel.
Okay.
Apparently. And apparently they are making another season. Something called the Steven Universe? I don't know what that is.
That's Steven Universe. It's another animated series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Something called The Boys? I don't know what this is. Garth Ennis. Here we go. It's becoming a movie. Something called The Boys. Okay. I don't know enough about that. I guess there's something on Dark Crystal. The new Dark Crystal.
Yeah. Okay.
Something called Carnival Row. I'm sorry. There's a Game of Thrones panel. Forgot about that.
Why? The show's done.
This is the end-all one.
Okay. Like the post-mortem. Okay.
Preacher. I'm surprised Preacher didn't do better. There is a Batwoman. Yes, they are screening the first episode of Batwoman at Comic-Con. Let's see. There's no Star Trek for the cast of Discovery.
Yeah, the cast. Okay.
And Star Trek Picard.
Oh, good.
As well as information on something called Lower Decks.
Ooh, okay. I think that's the animated series they're talking about. Ooh.
Oh, and I guess The Good Place is having a panel, which is kind of funny. The Expanse, Westworld. Ooh, Westworld. Okay. I'm good on Westworld. Let's see. Well, there's a whole bunch. I got the right article here. Marvel Studios. Duh. DCU series sneak previews. Oh, this is from I guess the DC Universe is having some previews of some of their stuff. Oh, yeah, and there's a Supernatural panel.
Yeah, when is the Disney Plus should be coming soon now? Is that end of the year?
Fall. I think it's fall.
End of the year?
I think it's like November or something like that.
Yeah, I might have to just drop a Benjamin and pay for a whole year and see how it plays out that year. I think that's what I'll do instead of just going month to month. I think I'm just going to commit.
Well, it's only $6.99, and are they going to give you a month?
Well, I don't know if they have a yearly rate that'll save you some money, but
there is a Riverdale panel. How do you like that?
Okay.
Okay, that's that. I'm more a Riverdale person. Yeah, like I said, it's so yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, and that doesn't include, all the comic book stuff and all that stuff either. And the toys and the cosplayers and
there's always the cool cosplayers. Yeah. I want to see if the Hasbro panel will have. I'm sure maybe they'll have the mock-up there, but the crowdfunding just launched today for that HasLab Unicron, and I'm like, oh no.
I sent you that thing about the giant freaking transformer.
Yes, that's Unicron, the Monster Planet.
Is that what that is?
Yes, that was the main baddie in the '86 animated film. For those who don't know, in the Transformers mythos, he's a big planet. Voiced by Orson Welles. It was his final role, actually, before he died.
Was it really? Wow.
Yes. Because, HasLab, about 2 years ago, they did the sailing barge, like Jabba's sailing barge.
Mm-hmm.
That's to scale for 3 3/4 figures, which is 5 feet long. And it went for $500. And because it's Star Wars, of course it met its crowdfunding goal.
Sure.
And actually, earlier in the year, I was at the Kane County show in St. Charles, and they were selling it for like $1,000 because the only way to get in on it was to pay the upfront for the crowdfunding, and then once the crowdfunding's successful, you got to wait like a year until they make the thing, and then they'll ship it to you. So now they're doing the same thing now with their first Hasbro's doing their first Transformer one, and it's Unicron. They made a Unicron toy back in 2003, and I'm looking at it now. Here's to my left, and it's only about 15 inches tall, and this one is about just over 27 inches tall. So it's going to be like the biggest Transformer toy ever officially made, and it dropped today, and I'm undecided on it. I know where I could put it, which is the most important thing for a large figure like that, but I'm undecided at this point. And I got 40 some odd days to figure out where I'm gonna make the money to go back to work and just eat peanut butter sandwiches for a couple months. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what the Hasbro panel comes, what new Black Series, because Star Wars Black Series has just been phenomenal these last couple of years. But but yeah, the toys, that's another thing. Yes, San Diego, but almost as big exposure as the Toy Fair in New York City. But San Diego's is a big press thing, so looking forward to seeing what comes out of it from the panels and trailers and reveals and photographs and whatnot.
I think it's funny because I know gaming happens at San Diego, but it's really not. It's just not.
It's a little niche.
Yeah, it's not a big thing. I mean, my understanding is there's quite a bit of gaming, but it's not a big thing out there. And that's the weird part too that I can't figure out is, you would think gaming, comics, it should all fit together, and it's like, it kind of doesn't, and I'm not sure why. It's
just something for everyone there, so they can try and cut their little corner of the pie where they can get it.
Yeah, but it's funny, like they've tried to bring like comics and comic books and all that stuff to Gen Con. It didn't play, which was
there's some dealers that still bring all that stuff, but
right. But I mean, like the big companies and like the big names and stuff like that. Although it's funny, there's a buddy of mine who I swear he told me after he saw him, and I was so pissed. Apparently Jim Lee was at Gen Con one year, and I'm like, and you decided not to tell me. Yes, because you didn't want anybody to know. I'm not anybody. I'm your friend, you dumbass.
Well, it's not like you were going to jump in a car and drive down there.
Oh, no, he was at Gen Con when I was there.
Oh, he saw him. You saw him, and you were there too. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, he saw him at Gen Con when we were both at Gen Con. And I'm like, you're a jerk. Tell me that Jim Lee is here and you don't... you suck.
And Alex Ross will be at San Diego selling his $50,000 prints.
Are they that much?
No, they're not that. That's an exaggeration.
I was going to say, because I know John did some stuff for Alex Ross last year or the year before? Where John was doing all kinds of videos.
Some of his stuff is pretty high end, though. I mean, I understand that.
Hey,
he's gay, but just look at the middleman, like a low grade print for $10 for the masses. Us, the unclean.
They do have that though. I know he does.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously he's got the more expensive stuff too, but
because his artwork is phenomenal. So
yeah.
But it doesn't mean everything should be like, pay for it in gold bars.
Well, if you've got them. I mean, look, at some point one of these days I will paper my walls with all kinds of cool artwork, but like that kind of stuff, but that's just not where I'm at the moment. So, yeah. But
San Diego, you got to think of the little guy. Think of the artist. Think of the struggling
artist.
Well,
but that's where Artist Alley comes in, though.
Yeah, right.
Is you can get a good sketch or you can get good stuff like that from Artist Alley, and you can get big names, and the prices are better sometimes than you think they are.
Oh, yeah.
And so to me, I always kind of, or at least so I'm told. I mean, I'm always kind of surprised about what certain people cost and whatnot. If anything, that was one of the only reasons I would have gone to C2E2 this past year was George Perez was there, but you had to get in line a month in advance to buy a George Perez piece. But I don't think it was that pricey. I think it might have been like $100, which is not bad because you're talking about George freaking Perez. I mean, this is like one of the godfathers of arts.
Yeah, but the thing is, some artists will only sign what you want them to sign. Sometimes you can't bring in your own comic that your favorite comic that you read as a kid that you want to get signed. I remember one time I saw Mark Hamill at a Gen Con back in the 90s. Okay. This is before anything, this is before we even knew we were going to get prequels. And he was signing just like a trading card for the Wing Commander game.
Yeah, I remember when he was there for that.
Yeah.
I remember when he was there for that, and they didn't let him do anything but talk about Wing Commander.
Yeah. Yeah. And he had that's the only thing you could sign was just that Wing Commander card.
Yeah. But I don't think that was him. I think that was the Wing Commander people.
Yeah, that was the stipulation of the appearance, yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't Mark Hamill. That was them.
Yeah.
That was them.
From what I'm told, Mark's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. From what I've been told, that's why I'm positive that's the Wing Commander people, not Mark Hamill.
Yeah, not. Right.
But yeah, no, like I said,
but there's some celebs out there who are pretty stickly about signing anything.
Yeah, yeah, there are.
Just like people, they're just some of them are more don't care about it as others,
Well, it's funny though because it's we're in a weird time too with all this stuff because it's in some ways it's oh cool, I got this signed, and it was what did I have? I had a baseball that was signed by a whole bunch of the Cubs and stuff, and that I had from when I was a kid, and I went and took it to one of those sports shops or something like that, and
to get it appraised.
Right, and they're like, "Oh, where's your certificate of authenticity?" I'm like, I don't have a certificate of authenticity. I got this when I was a kid. This shit didn't exist back in the the 80s, and then
right.
Nobody was looking for that crap back then. It's well, that would mean I have to take time to go figure it out.
And hire a guy to analyze the signature and be sure it's legit.
Right, exactly. And they're like, forget it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, no, it's... I don't know. I think the funniest was Gail Simone. They were giving... The last time I was at C2E2, they were giving away free copies of Batgirl #1, and Gail Simone was the author for it. And she's friends with my buddy John Suntress. So I grabbed one and I said, hey, could you write some sort of crazy thing on there for my buddy John? She goes, John who? And I told her who it was. And she's like, you're really going to give this to him? I'm like, yeah. So she wrote something crazy on there. Because with John, it's I can never figure out what to give him that he doesn't already have. You know what I mean? Because he's like the guru of comics when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm I gotta find something that he's gonna, and I didn't have the money at the time. And I'm I gotta find something he's gonna not have that he'll find like a treasure kind of thing that's rare. And I'm so I had to write some sort of crazy message on there, and I gave it to him, and he was like, oh my god, this is awesome. But yeah. Yeah, because that's the other kind of stuff too. I mean, some of these creators are really a lot of fun and they're cool people. But yeah.
But just like people, there's
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too. This is another example of you gotta know how to deal with it. You gotta know when to not act like a fanboy.
Right. And just be chill.
I've had those moments I was at Gen Con, and they had people from Devils Do Comics there, and all of a sudden I acted like a crazy person, wanting to know all kinds of things about comic books, and they all had that look on their face like, get away from me. In the meantime, I had been having conversations and drinks with Peter Atkinson, who's the owner of Gen Con, and everybody was like, oh my God. I'm like, it's just Peter.
Yeah, chill.
Just chill. And they're like, what are you talking about? That's the owner of Gen Con. Yeah. Why aren't you freaking out? I'm like, because he's a good guy. We've had conversations before. It's not just
don't be like the Chris Farley show in front of him.
Yeah, well, but they all are. Well, that was always the amusing part. Was I was always calm around all the gaming people. The gaming people, I'd be calm around. God forbid there's a comic book person around. Then it was a different story. And it was funny because they're all like, "What's the big deal? What do you mean? What's the big deal? You know what that is?" Like there was one time I was at and Mark Waid was there, and I'm like, oh my god. And it was like, are you gonna be okay? I'm like, am I allowed to geek out? No. Damn it. Or they had Frank Kazarian and Chris Daniels who were like wrestling, who were wrestlers, and I'm like, I want to ask them a million wrestling questions, and I can't.
Yeah, the old comic book store that used to be up here.
You said it was
McHenry. It was before the older guy. There was an older guy who ran it, and he died suddenly of a heart attack, and then his wife sold off the company, and then we've had a couple of smaller ones since, and now that one's finally closed. But there's another one where Al and Ann's was the name of the place in McHenry. And he used to have he'd get wrestlers. I think one year he got Jerry Lawler. One year he got George the Animal Steel. He got Rich Coz from Spenguli. And a couple other wrestlers and probably some comic names. But yeah, there were times, of course I never got to go because there were Saturdays. And I work Saturdays. But it'd be neat to see some of these people in the flesh. But
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and like I said, I mean,
but that's San Diego. Good, that's a chance, and it's when you wait 6 hours for a 30-minute panel, and then you can go enjoy the rest of your weekend doing whatever.
Yeah, well, that's why there are some people who, it's funny. I know people who they won't even ever spend time in Hall H, or they won't even go to any of the panels. I mean, it's funny because it's like if I went, I'd want to go. That's something I would want to go either as working press if I could figure out a way, or working for somebody or working with somebody, because I think the show's more interesting then, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Because you get to maybe you hang out at a party or two and that kind of thing. But, it's funny you mentioned about Wizard World. I don't think I've gone to Wizard World in a few years.
I think I went to C2E2 once. I went to ASEN once years ago, back in the 2000s when I was watching anime. I don't watch much anime anymore. But like I said, this was a long time ago, and now it's just gotten so huge.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
No, like I said, it's...
But being close to Chicago, and of course being close to Rosemont, and not having to go all the way downtown, which is good, because... Yeah, it was better than having to navigate the loop in McCormick Place, south of the loop.
Yeah.
Where you can deal with just going to Rosemont, where it's technically Chicago, but it's kind of not, but it's by the airport, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I still, one of these times I'll go out to C2E2. Sometimes with C2E2, I'm just not thrilled with what's out there. And, the headache that I had with C2E2 was, I don't know. If you're not buying anything, and you don't know anybody,
you're just meandering.
Yeah, you're just meandering, and it's, what am I doing here?
Unless you're fixed just to meet one of the celebrities and get an autograph or a picture or whatever, then there you go.
Right. Well, and it's funny because there have been a few times I've gone down there in the evening later when the show is over to meet up with John.
because John knows people. So
yeah, and like, John's you're in, so you can.
John's like, oh yeah,
so you can hobnob.
Oh, absolutely. I will definitely. Oh, I've done that before. There's no question in my mind. There's been no question in my mind at any point in time where there have been plenty of times where I have been like, where I have definitely been like that member of the entourage crew where it's like I'm the hanger-oner. Yeah, absolutely. Because the only good news is there's a few people I do know. So it's like, there are a couple people who'll be like, oh, hey, how are you? How are you doing? What's going on? But I can't totally hang her on her, if you know what I mean. But there have been plenty of times where it's like, I've gotten in places because it's like, I'm hanging with John.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have been gotten anywhere. I was like there was, actually, here's a good one.
You'd be the kid behind the backstage door in the rain.
I felt like Turtle on Entourage. That's the best answer I could give you.
There you go.
But the best was, I'm hanging around with John. I can't remember who else. And they get invited to this party at the Hyatt out at Rosemont. And we go in there, and first of all, it's a suite, and it's got a second level. And so
I've seen
already
those. Like, the Hyatt. I've seen the Hyatt at Rosemont. Used to have, he had it was the Hyatt in Rosemont that had some of those rooms where it was like a second. There was like a 2-level suite, like separated by stairs.
Right. There was like there's a stairwell that basically
the spiral stairway
leading.
Spiral
stairway,
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, never seen that before.
Nice.
Interesting. So we're hanging around there. I really don't know much of anybody, and I'm just kind of hanging out, just kind of getting a drink, hanging around. And it was funny because there were some girls there, there were some women there, and for convention they were pretty good. Okay, I mean they were pretty good. And then the best way I can put this is, I don't know who this person was whose room we were in, but John Schnieder showed up.
John Schnieder? You mean
Dukes of Hazzard? John Schnieder, yeah. John Schnieder, Smallville, Dukes of Hazzard. That John Schnieder.
Wow.
And I was and he showed up, and I'm like, oh, interesting. And there were these 2 women with him, and they made everybody else in the room, like on a scale of 1 to 10, these women were like a 35.
Whoa. I
mean, they were amazing. I mean, they were absolutely gorgeous. And the best is, one of them is wearing this pair of form-fitting jeans that you're just like, I mean, I've seen women naked at strip clubs and stuff, and they haven't looked as good as this woman in this pair of jeans.
Were they Daisy Dukes, though?
No, they were. I don't know. I don't think. No, they weren't.
No, they weren't cutoffs. Okay.
Right, they weren't cutoffs. But anyway, I was sitting someplace, and she went to go out and get a beer, and she has to. And with the way that the refrigerator is it's down on the ground, so she has to lean over, and I'm literally sitting in the right position where I can watch her lean over. And me and the other guy were just like sitting. I was talking to some other guy, and we literally stopped our conversation to watch this woman lean over. And I swear, I've seen women who have been wearing far less that were not as impressive as this woman. And it was like, wow. He wasn't there long, and neither were the girls. And at that point, I realized,
understandably.
Yeah. Needless to say, I was impressed because these women could not have been more than 30. And John Schneider's in his 50, and he's like, there are 2 of them.
Although so nice of him to bring his daughters with to these shows. That is so sweet. He's a great dad.
Yeah,
he must be a super #1 dad.
Mm-hmm. If that would
nudge,
happen.
nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah, really. But yeah, like I said, so I just happen to remember that one because for that reason. But yeah, they didn't stay long. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any. We spent a lot of time talking about convention shit today.
Yeah.
Well, because Ivan's not here. We can get away with talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. In fairness, there's not. I'm trying to think. I mean, what else is? It's like there's a movie lull. The weather's nice, other than the freaking alligator.
Yeah, that's all we got going on in Chicago these days.
That's all we got on. I mean,
Well, is the taste over? Is the taste done?
Oh, maybe it is. I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah,
the first day they had to haul somebody away because of heat exhaustion.
Did they really?
Yeah.
See, there's two things about taste, which is one,
it's always freaking hot.
Well, okay, that makes three. There's one. Two is, by the time you get done paying for all the food it tastes, you could have gone someplace good and had a steak.
Yeah.
And three, God forbid you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, right. There are no concrete buildings. It's all porta potties.
Oh, and those things, unless you got there early and they've been cleaned, good luck.
Well, it's just a matter of staying hydrated, too.
It's not even that. It's like there's hundreds of thousands of people who use those things. They are stinky and nasty and gross as hell. And it's like, ugh, no, I don't think so. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, but public pools. I mean, was it now 4 years ago? I went with my ex-girlfriend to the Kalahari, and I had a good time. But now I'm just thinking about just public places now, and I don't think I could get in a public pool again in my life.
I could do a public pool.
I wouldn't trust it.
I could get in a public pool. A public pool I could do.
I don't know if I could do that anymore.
I don't know if I could do that anymore.
Just, you hear these stories, not just the baby Ruth in the pool from Caddyshack, but you hear these. No, I don't know.
No?
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, I think this is a good place to end things because I think we're running out of stuff.
Yeah, we just don't have anything. We didn't see any movies. We've watched some TV. Oh, I do. This week is the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, and I'm listening to this one podcast. It's awesome about the Apollo 11, and it's really good. So, yeah, it's interesting to see what TV stations are going to carry the. And of course, this is before my time, but I remember growing up having building toy rockets and model rockets and all that. Uh-huh. And then I was 10 years old I was 9 years old when the first space shuttle launched. So that was what really propelled my interest in the space program.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But the moonshot, it was and the whole thing with the space race with the Ruskies. 50 years of the Apollo 11.
All right, so Mike, how do people hear us? How do people find us? All that other stuff.
We are on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll know when new episodes drop. We're on Facebook, Squares the Roundtable Facebook page, and of course you'll get our sister show later in the week, News of the Squared. Shout out to Scott. We're on Podbean and Anchor. Download the free apps. You'll know where new episodes are at. You can take them anywhere on your mobile device. And, of course, you can email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, that's going to do it for this week. And, obviously we'll have a lot more to talk about next time. I don't know if we'll have Ivan or not or what the story is, but
we hope we'll have Ivan here.
We hope, unless he's been eaten by the gator.
No.
No? Not
we got to find Chance the Snapper. He's like the Loch Ness Monster now.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. No kidding, but yeah.
So next week we'll have some San Diego Comic-Con talk to talk.
We'll have a lot of talk next week.
We'll have a lot to discuss. So until then, we hope you have a great week, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.